Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and I can be reached at davidisinflorida@gmail.com. If you have any questions on buying or selling a home in the Villages, please reach out to me. This week we have good news and bad news, mostly good news. I'm going to start by showing you this graph, which is mortgage rates over the last several months. And you can see that they've moved down from almost 7.5 to under 6.5%. This should help the housing market nationwide. The other thing I would mention is we did a show last week which talked about what might have been the best deal in the Villages. That home has gone pending. The address was 3277 Palatine Court in the village of Glenbrook. The house was over 2,000 square feet, and the last listing price was under $171 a square foot. If you're interested in taking a look at the show we did on that house, I will add a link to it in the description below. Two things I'd like to have you note. First, make sure you check the date on today's show. We produce this every Monday. Make sure you're getting the most recent information. Secondly, all of this information is drawn from the multiple listing service. It does not include any information or properties available on the Village's own internal listing site, the VLS. So let's take a look at the Village's real estate market this week. As always, we start with total listings, which currently stand at 316. They range in price from $125,000 to $2.1 million, the $2.1 million being a new listing. And you can see the inexorable rise from almost 100 in early April of last year to, as I said, 316 listings today. Here's a closer look at all of these listings. You can see that in the most active price segment, the $300,000 to $500,000 range, this week there are 192 properties for sale. Last week there were 193. The week prior to that, 181. The week prior to that, 169. And the week prior to that, 170. This is the median listing price per square foot for all properties currently on the MLS. This week it's $263.33 a foot, certainly dramatically decreased from what we saw earlier in the year, and it certainly looks as if the trend towards lower prices per square foot is continuing. This is the median time on the market for all listings, 51 days the median time. We've seen a gradual decrease over the last couple of weeks. There have been a lot of new listings though, so you would expect this graph to understate median time on the market. Here's a look at new listings and pending home sales to give you some idea of how many properties are entering the market and leaving the market in any given week. Over the last 7 days, there were 39 new listings and 32 homes went pending. On the graph, the new listings are the blue bars and the pending home sales, the orange bars. Here's a closer look at the new listings. As I said, they're number 39. They range in price from just under $126,000 to $2.1 million. In the most active price segment, the $300,000 to $500,000 range, this week there were 19 new listings. Last week, 28. The week prior to that, 26. The week prior to that, 11. And the week prior to that, also 26. Here we look at the median price per square foot on the properties that went pending over the last 7 days. $260.10, the median price. We seem to be holding the range of $255, $260. This shows us how long homes that went pending over the last 7 days had been on the market. The median time, 61 days. Not the highest that we've seen, but certainly at the high end of the range. This shows us the price change from the original listing price for the homes that went pending over the last 7 days. The median change for all homes that went pending was a decrease of 6.14% from the original listing price. Here we look at the homes that closed over the last 7 days. They numbered 28, ranging in price from $240,000 to $660,000. It certainly is encouraging to see this graph turn higher again. This is the price per square foot realized on homes that closed over the last 7 days, $245 a square foot. This graph seems to indicate that price per square foot is continuing to decrease here. More detail on the homes that closed over the last 7 days. In the most active price segment, $300,000 to $500,000, 18 homes closed in the last 7 days. Prior 7-day period saw 12. The period prior to that, 15. 7 days prior to that, 8. And the period prior to that, 7. Median price per square foot on the homes that closed over the last 7 days is $245. Looking at this graph does seem to reinforce the idea that prices per square foot are continuing to slowly decrease here. This shows us how long homes that closed over the last 7 days had been on the market. 34 days, the median time. It's definitely elevated from the euphoria we saw a year ago. This graphic gives us an idea as to how quickly well-priced homes are leaving the market. There were 29 sales in the last 7 days. 6 of them closed within 7 days of being listed, which is 21%. The previous week saw 30% of sales having been listed for less than 7 days. If we look at pending home sales over the last 7 days, there were 32. 4 of them went pending within 7 days of being listed. This equates to 13%. Previous week saw pending home sales go pending within 7 days of being listed at a 28% rate. Another interesting thing to look at is the number of listings that have been on the market for more than 100 days. This week there are 316 total listings and 65 have been on the market for longer than 100 days. This is 21% of all listings, same number as we saw last week. And the last two things we look at are what percentage of listings have had a decrease from the original listing price. It's exactly 50% of all listings this week. We're looking at this graph. It does appear as if, once again, people who have homes for sale are having to reduce their asking price. And finally, we take a look at what the median change from the original listing price is for all listings here in the villages. This week, the median decrease for all properties listed is almost 4%. As you look at this graph, it's important to note that so many properties have entered the market recently at new lower prices that one wouldn't expect the percentage of decrease to remain constant, as all of these homes are hitting the market at current market prices. So that completes this week's look at the Villages real estate market. Once again, if you're interested in buying a home and getting a good deal, or you are trying to sell your home and maximize your return, please reach out to me at davidisinflorida@gmail.com. Also, if you have any questions on life in the villages or real estate in the villages in general, please reach out to me. I hope to hear from you. Take care.